Welcome to Manifest This, Believer versus Skeptic. I'm Sharon Giroux, your resident skeptic who asks all the tough questions. And with me is Jennifer Neal, our manifesting maestro. Whether you're rolling your eyes or raising your vibration, we dive into all things manifestation, mindset, and energy from every side. Hit subscribe, settle in, and get ready for spirited debates, surprising experiments, and laughter on the journey to creating a life you love.
Today, we're going to talk about love, identity, and alignment, and why some people find their person and others keep dating the same lesson. Hi, Jennifer. How are you today?
Great. I'm in love.
You're in
How are
love?
you?
I'm great, but I'm in love with myself and nobody else.
Okay, that's a good start.
So, we're talking about love, identity, and alignment, which I think is a lot of people's favorite topic. Tell us what you're thinking around all of this.
Well, I see with my own eyes, and I am an example of someone that has been on both sides of the fence. I have been the one that has been unhappy and searching and thinking I'm never going to find the right person. And I'm also on the other side of the fence twice, like twice in my life. I've been on the other side of the fence where I found the one soulmate material. And so it came to me so easily both times that one would question, does anybody ever have trouble finding their person? So I
Okay.
just think it's an interesting topic, especially with Valentine's Day coming up.
Okay, well, this is an interesting start. So, what's the question everybody asks you then?
So the question is, why do some people meet their soulmate almost effortlessly, and others can't even get a date? And I like to say, why do some have a soulmate and others can't get a date? Like, why is that? Same city, same app, same intelligence, same intentions, right? Same desire. I want somebody in my life,
Right?
and yet very different outcomes. And sometimes these outcomes last for decades. Like, and I'm not kidding. I've got a friend that, 25 years later, still looking for the one. So today we're going to unpack what's really going on beneath the surface and what the law of attraction actually has to do with love. And without turning this into fairy dust and affirmations on your mirror, which you will love, Miss Practical.
Uh,
Um,
yeah, thank you
you
for that
know,
because if this turns into just vibe higher, I'm out.
well, I can't tell you there isn't gonna be some of that, but it's not vibe higher, it's vibe differently. But yeah, let's get into this.
Okay. All right.
So, we've all noticed this. Some people are relaxed about love and they attract it. I'm the perfect example for this, right? 5 years ago this spring, not looking, fed up, good with my own life, good with my own little self, in walks Mr. Man. And that was it for us, but others are so intense about love, they repel it. And you don't even need to be intense about love to repel it, but somehow there's like this pesticide or lovicide on them that is just not bringing it in, not bringing in the boatload of fish. So this isn't magic, this is energy. And this is good news, bad news story, right? This is a good news story. The fix to this is energy and behavior and nervous systems.
Okay, so what I'm hearing obviously is confidence is very attractive and anxiety not so much. So, to me, that's more psychology, not manifestation.
We're not just talking about confidence here because I'm a very confident woman. Not always, of course, but like I exude confidence. Even if I'm not confident, I exude confidence.
Mhm.
Sometimes that can be a man repeller because they need a little bit more of the feminine energy. They need a little bit more of I need you versus I can do it all by myself. I'm a man already, right?
Okay.
But we're not going to talk too much about masculine, feminine energy today. Agreed. So I will agree with you. But here's where it starts to overlap. Two people can want the same relationship. They both want someone to spend their life with. They both want companionship. They both want passion. They both want love. They both want weekend trips, but be very different people inside. So, for example, one person might say, I want a partner, but my life is already full. That was me,
Mhm.
right? Another one says, I want a partner because something is missing. They're going to be the last jigsaw piece in my puzzle. And those don't land exactly the same way.
Okay. All right. So, let's talk about that in terms of I guess attracting how you're going to attract what you want versus attracting what you are. Because I think you've sort of mentioned this type of thing before,
Well, those 2 go together though. You do attract what you are, right? So
right?
this is classic law of attraction territory. This is the part that people skip over. You don't attract love because you want it. You attract love by being the kind of person who belongs in the relationship you want, right? So there we
Okay.
go. You get what you are.
Okay. So that sounds really nice, but it also sounds sort of vague.
So let's make this a little more concrete. If you say let's talk values for a second, because deep down, that's really where we're going. They might be a nice dresser, they might have a fancy car, but if they're a cheater, they're probably not the guy you want. And we're females and we like the opposite sex. So we're talking today from our perspective about, from that. But this applies to anything. Doesn't matter whether you love men or you love women. It doesn't matter. If you say you want honesty, if you say you want someone that's emotionally available, this is a big one. If you say you want consistency, if you say you want kindness, if you say you want commitment, and yet you yourself, maybe you avoid hard conversations. Maybe you disappear the minute things get tough or uncomfortable. Maybe you say yes, but you really mean no. Maybe you become a people pleaser. Maybe you become a yes woman because you think that's what they want from you. Maybe you chase clarity instead of living a clear life. That's a mismatch. It's not punishment, but this is alignment. This is misalignment with the things you say you want.
Okay, so obviously, if people want emotionally mature partners, if they're not practicing emotional maturity themselves, they're going to run into some challenges. It's really, you know, be the person you want to date.
Yeah, 100%. Love mirrors identity, who you are, before it mirrors desire. So, again, just to stay on this point just a little longer, if you want someone that's going to work out with you and that's physically active and likes to go for walks in nature and enjoys the odd forest path, and you don't do any of those things, why would someone that does do those things that you say you want be attracted to you?
Well, I mean, it's funny you say that, right? Because the conversations are often, if you're a runner, join a running club, and chances are you're going to meet someone at the running club. This happened to a friend of mine. So, yes, the apps are great and all that, but if you're in community and in your own environment, then whatever it is you do that you love to do, chances are you're going to meet someone who loves to do it as well. So you have some connection there.
Totally. And 100%. And I think those kinds of hobby clubs could be the best dating apps ever. And I have a very lovely story that it revolves around this. A friend of mine had been single for a while. She was married, then divorced, no kids, looking for the love of her life everywhere. On the apps, on land, at sea, you name it. She was looking for it. And then, one day she got kind of down in the dumps and I said, "Do what you love. You love to ski. Go skiing. In fact, go on a big skiing trip in the Swiss Alps because a lot of people can't go ski the Swiss Alps and you can. Go skiing." Well, sure enough, she goes skiing, meets the guy 13 years later,
Oh, great.
still together, right? Like she found him on the slopes and she could probably ski the same runs he could. Maybe not all of them, but like go where you want to be, go where and who you are, and you will meet him.
It certainly wouldn't be me on the slopes because every time I'd be going down, it'd be a yard sale.
Yeah, and you'd probably end up with 2 broken arms again. No, seriously though, like if we were talking about if we were talking about you, for example,
Yeah,
pickleball, right? Pickleball. You know the things you love to do, walking, pickleball, cooking, like all of the things you love to do. There are clubs for all of those things. And guess what? The opposite sex hangs out in all those clubs, right?
sure. Yeah.
Same for me. If I were talking about me, it would be maybe a golf class. It would be walking, a walking club. It would be a law of attraction manifestation group. And I used to do those when I was single. I would go to Eckhart Tolle nights, and there's so many options to find your person. But anyway, let's keep going here.
Okay,
So,
so why don't you give us like a little exercise in terms of getting to where we want to get to?
okay. So if you're listening right now, this is your pause and play moment. Okay. So you're going to maybe want to start and stop this episode. We're going to do something very simple, but not in an uncomfortable way. So grab your phone or your notes app or your pen and your paper, whatever. Okay. And here's what I want you to do. And I'm telling you to do this because I did this. So I want you to write down a list of the things that you want in this love relationship. Okay. So, for example, I want someone that's emotionally available. I want someone that's honest. I want someone that's consistent. I want someone that's grounded or and affectionate and describe what these things mean to you. What does affection mean to you? Well, I love it when someone comes over and actually puts their hand on top of mine. Right? Get specific. I want someone that's growth oriented. What does that mean? I want someone that's going to get up every morning with me at 6 a.m. and put on personal or professional development themed videos or books. And I want to do that with them. I want to grow with them. That's another example. I want someone that's trustworthy, and you can't censor this. So, as you're doing this, and I know you're going to have something to say, Sharon, so hang on a minute.
Well, sure, I do.
If you're struggling with this list, because it can be tough, you put down all the normal things like, yeah, I want him to be cute and I want him to be protective and a provider and all those things. I want you to look at your last relationship. Whether you left them or they left you, whether you left because you were done with them or they left because they were done with you, doesn't matter. I want you to think about the things in that relationship that drove you crazy, made you sad, made you upset. When you realized there was a red flag, maybe looking back on the red flags, looking back on the times where you felt gaslit or where you felt unseen or where you felt unpartnered with or where you felt not helped. I want you to look on that last relationship and I want you to take a note of all the things that were the red flags, the disappointments, the upset, the tears. And I want you to write all of those things down because in the opposite of those things is the thing you actually want. Does that make sense?
Well, it sounds like relationship autopsies happening all over the place.
Yeah, totally. That's exactly what it is. I love that.
Everyone's done that type of list before about what they're looking
Have they?
for in someone. People talk about it with their
Yeah, but do
friends.
you write the list like I did? I literally got out of that relationship that went nowhere and I was so mad and I wrote down everything that I did and didn't want again. I
Right.
don't think everybody does that.
Okay. All right. What's the next step then?
So once you've got your list in front of you, and again, you might have to go opposites to what I want. Well, now you've got your want list. Step two is what we call the mirror list. So now I want you to do this. Next to every single line item or quality or whatever it is. For example, on my list, I had that I did not want to listen to a specific radio station anymore because the guy that I was dating at the time listened to this one radio station and I couldn't stand it. So I was like, no more of this radio station.
Right.
I want you to take your list and I want you to stand up. You can do this in front of a mirror. You don't have to, but you have to be honest. The reason we pull in the mirror is because it tends to bring out honesty. And I want you to ask yourself this one question. Am I living this?
Okay. What
Am
does
I
that
living
mean?
this?
What does that mean?
Well, let's stick with the radio station. If I say I don't want someone that listens to that radio station and I'm secretly listening to that radio station, I am not living my desire, right?
Okay.
Back to the idea of working out. If I say I want someone that's active and working out and I want to work out with them, but I'm not quite down to my schedule yet, can't quite hit the gym, that's a problem.
Right.
So you want to ask yourself, am I living this?
Let me just stop you there for 1 second because what struck me as you say that is I
Yeah.
think sometimes people look for partners who they think might motivate them to live it when they're not there yet. And now we've got a mismatched expectation where, let's take the gym, for example. You want someone who goes to the gym regularly. You're not quite there yet, but you're hoping that that person who comes into your life is the person who's going to motivate you to do it. Well, great for you for, maybe hoping that person helps you. But on the other side of the coin, have you set up a red flag about yourself because you said you're a person who really likes to work out and now this person's walked in with that expectation that you are who you say you are, and in fact, you put the burden on them in some respect.
Totally. Unless you really mean it and you did need that gym buddy or that inspiration. I mean, it can go both ways, I think.
Okay.
It's okay. Like, listen, if you're a slob and, you know, a couch potato, but you really don't wanna be a couch potato anymore, and you know that if somebody comes into your life that would start a new branch of life for you, and you're honest about it, and maybe he's a couch potato too, like, maybe instead of looking for someone that's a gym rat, you actually say to some in your quest, "He doesn't need to be buff, but I want us to get buff together." I think that's okay.
Okay, got
Right? So, I think that's okay. So, back to the question of, but it's a good point, like, because the question is, am I living it? Are you
right.
living the life of what you say you want? Not that you're capable of it, not I do it on a good day, but consistently, are you this person that you are seeking? So, if you want honesty, are you honest about what you need? If you want consistency, are you consistent in how you show up? And I mean, you know, one day you show up excited and ready and dressed for the date, and the next time you show up and you've had a bad day and you're a bit of a negative Nelly, and like consistency in dress, consistency in emotion, consistency in energy, like all of those things. Consistency in emotional safety. Are you emotionally regulated or do you fly off the handle all the time? Like this isn't self-shaming, this is reflection, and it's really looking at yourself and saying, "This is self-leadership."
Yeah, and I would say a lot of people are likely going to find this very confronting because I think one of the easiest things to do sometimes is to lie to ourselves. And it's tough to be honest with ourselves in terms of what we want and what we need. And there could be the other side of the coin, right? If someone is actually really trying to framework this precisely and they're being honest with themselves, sometimes those are difficult conversations you're having in your own head about, do I deserve it? Am I good enough? Right? All of those pieces might start to show up when you start to be honest with yourself.
You're totally right. I also think there's a silver lining in that too. Let's say you can't find your person and you've been on a series of dates and none of them were worked out and they're not texting back or they're not getting back to you and you start getting upset to your point about, well, maybe this is about me. What if instead of going down that road, what if you actually said to yourself, well, the universe knows that I'm looking for honesty, consistency, and emotional safety. And the reason this isn't working out is because the universe knows he's not a match to those things. Like, what if we were really honest about the reason why things don't go forward in a good way, in that the universe is protecting us and knows what we need and want and deserve? And so all the ones that don't work out is because it's not a match yet.
It's interesting because I was just having this conversation with a friend of mine, and I think some of the challenges one faces is while it's lovely to see a couple that's been married for 50 years and they're still in each other's pocket and they're sitting on that bench, watching the kids play soccer or what have you, those are ideals that have been frameworked, I think, for some very specific and particular reasons. And some of those reasons may be a little bit nefarious. And I think what I would say too is sometimes your person isn't your person for life. They could be your person for a week, but oh my gosh, what a great time. And what did you learn about yourself and about them? And so I think that's an important piece in all of this too. The phrase, a reason, a season, a lifetime. And to not go in like, it's gotta be for the next 20, 30, 40 years. It'd be nice if it was, but even if it's for a week, that's okay too.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much in that statement. We could do a whole podcast on why things work and then why they don't. Again, I believe it's an energy game, but we'll save that for another day. But going back to your comment about maybe things aren't supposed to be forever, I totally agree with you. Mine wasn't my initial marriage was not forever. And, I'm very sad about that. Still today, I'm very sad about that. It's okay also to want something forever. Like, again, what do you believe? What do you believe? Like on my list, I want my soulmate for life. I want that. I'm looking for that. I want that. 50 years, still holding hands, still in each other's back pockets love affair. And I have it,
Or life
right?
sentence, depending on your perspective.
Or well, again, I don't want that. That part is not on my list, the
Right,
life
got
sentence.
it.
Go back to the list. It's all about the list. What do you want? Put it down. What do you believe is possible? What do you want? And what do you believe? Those are two different things I just realized. But, you know, what do you believe is possible for you? If you walk around, I have another girlfriend that used to walk around and say, there's no good men out there my age. There's no good men out there my age. There's no good men out there my age. Guess what she found? A
What's
man her age that was a cheater.
right, yeah. So
That's a match.
let me ask you this. So what about the moments when love shows up out of nowhere for some people? What's happening there?
I think that's why people say they gave up, right? And listen, that was me. I had the odd date between the time of the end of my marriage and finding my soulmate that I'm with today. It wasn't because I gave up. I never gave up my list. I never gave up my desires. I never gave up the belief that I was worthy of a great love again. But I did stop auditioning,
Okay.
right?
Tell me more about that.
So I got clearer. I got calmer. I got less reactive. I got more intro self respecting.
Okay.
And I stopped bending to be chosen. I think we've all done this from time to time, male or female. We put on these shows. We put on this act. We play this part of what dating is supposed to look like. And that's not authentic. When it comes right down to it, if you can't be your authentic self, you will not meet an authentic partner. Again, it's the same thing. Like attracts like. If you want authenticity, you have to be authentic. I mean, I still laugh to this day. The night that I met Darwin, was determined. I had written off all dating apps. I had written off all dating. I was so happy in my life with my friends and my cats and my kids and was so happy. I didn't need anything else to round me out. And the night that I was supposed to meet him, I went into that evening saying to myself, Jennifer, you're going to be yourself. You're going to party because you're a partier. You're going to laugh. You're going to stay up late. You're going to dance. You're going to giggle. You're going to be silly because that's who you are.
Mhm.
And I did just that. I went into that evening and I was totally my authentic self. And he was too. And then that was 5 years ago. Guys don't like it when you're too silly. Guys don't like it when you're the life of the party. Guys don't like it when you're looking for, seemingly so goofy, you're looking for attention. Guys don't like that. But that's who I was.
So really what I'm hearing is that your energy sort of shifted from pick me to this is me. Take it or leave it. Here I am.
100%. I love that.
Yeah.
From pick me to this is me.
Yeah.
That's the answer right there. That's
Okay.
the answer. Like we're done.
Well, we're not.
I know.
Because I think what would be interesting to hear about now are, reframing values and chemistry.
Got it. Well, so here's another hard truth. Chemistry gets mistaken for compatibility all the time, but chemistry without shared values just creates chaos. Okay. So again, I'll explain. If you value communication, that's a big one for me. I want to be able to talk with you. I want to be able to talk to you. I want your opinion. I want you to take me off the ledge. I want to know what is going on inside your brain, but I don't do that myself. Right. Again, we got a mismatch. So if you value communication, if you value reliability, if you value peace, if you value growth, but you keep choosing intensity and mystery and emotional roller coasters, that's not bad luck. That's a habit and it's your fault. I hate to say
Well,
it.
I think, science in some respects kind of backs this up because with the chemistry, it's funny. You sort of listen to people and it's like, oh, there was so much excitement in the beginning, AKA limerence. And now it's sort of faded away. Well, of course it has, because chemically we're geared up when the attraction happens, from that perspective to have all that fun that goes around with it. But if you don't have the bedrock of what you're talking about, the alignment of yourself with another person, the attraction is just that. It's chemical, but there's not a lot of longevity. And again, I'm going to say this, there's nothing wrong with that if you're happy enough to have that limerence phase consistently. But there's a point at which I think many people go, "Okay, I'm just tired of this, and I just want someone to chill out with and have those conversations," for example.
Do you remember that movie, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days,
Yes,
with Kate Hudson and Matthew McConaughey?
I do.
And, of course, I mean, it's such a great movie for what we're talking about because, she did all the things initially to get him hooked in. And initially, she got the tickets for the Knicks game, and she let him have his poker night, and she did all the things that a stereotypical girlfriend apparently is wanted to do.
She did the pick me stuff. Yep,
Right? She did all the pick me stuff, and then she very quickly turned into, "This is the real me."
right.
And what happened? He wasn't as interested anymore. In fact, she totally pushed him away until he really found out who she authentically was, and then they rode off into the sunset. But it's a great movie, it's a fun movie, it's a good movie to watch. If you wanna fake it, you might attract someone, no doubt about it, but can you live with them for 50 years? Because that's not really who you are. And I see it happen all the time.
Even more, it's not just can you live with them, the question is also can you live with yourself?
Totally.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, I can't tell you how many women, and it's women I see. I don't see it so much on the man side, but that's because I'm not, going to cocktail evenings with single men all the time. But, you know, with women, my female friends, I can't tell you how many women friends I know about and have where they're on their second time around and they have gotten so excited and into their husband or their boyfriend's life. And then they get into these long-term relationships with them. And then all of a sudden they realize, well, wait a minute, what about the things I like? And then they try to put them in at that stage 3, 4, 5 years later. And the guy's like, where'd that come from? I thought you wanted to come to my pickleball match every weekend all the time.
don't
What do you mean you
slander
wanna go?
pickleball.
What do you mean you want us to go to join a hiking club?
Yeah,
Well, yeah, honey, I love hiking. Yeah, but you didn't love hiking for 4 years while we were dating. It's the inconsistencies that pop up all over the place, right?
right. Okay, so let's look at this from a practical realignment perspective.
Okay. So, if love hasn't shown up yet and you are looking for love, here's a better question. Instead of going down the rabbit hole of there must be something wrong with me, I'm not worthy, I am broken, what's wrong with me? I want you to ask yourself these questions. What am I available for right now? What do I really want?
Mhm.
Am I looking for marriage or am I just looking for, a companion? That's okay too. I know people that just want companions. That's number one. What am I available for right now? Number two, what behavior do I normalize? Okay. So that's kind of a fancy way of saying, how do you behave?
Okay.
How do you behave? And number three, what version of me is leading my dating life? Is it the real you? Is it the authentic you? Or is it the you that you put on because you think you have to attract by being something other than you?
Right. Okay, so then once you've asked yourself these questions, what's the next step?
So, if there's any inconsistencies in those questions up top, slowly, somehow, and this is identity work again, you have to be honest and be honest about what you really want and the consistency that you crave and the emotional maturity that you admire. Really take a like, if you are a couch potato and you want another couch potato, there's a way to put that out into the universe. There's a way to show up as a couch potato. There's a way to show up as someone that doesn't like to party on Friday nights, right? Don't go out and party on Friday nights if you don't like to party on a Friday night, because you're gonna meet a Friday night partier.
Right. Okay.
So not so much to earn love, but to match love. It's a
Okay.
match.
Yeah. And I'll say, even without using all the manifestation language, it's generally, solid advice. If you're a skeptic like I am, and there are elements of this that just don't resonate, just being authentic in who you are is really good advice. If you're a healthy, emotionally aware individual, you're going to attract healthier relationships, period.
Yeah. I mean, that's a really good point. If you're a skeptic, if one is a skeptic, does
Yeah.
one want to attract a skeptical person?
Put it to you this way. Because I love people who are challenging me mentally.
Yeah.
And part of, I think, mentally challenging one another and that intellectual sparring that I find very attractive is that piece of it. So, yes, sometimes I would like to have that skeptic, not necessarily someone who's going to convince me because we're polar opposites, but the mental acuity to go, I'm going to listen to what you say and go, interesting perspective or point of view. Let me ponder that a little bit. And that to me is an element of emotional maturity that's demonstrable and that little intellectual tickle that I absolutely adore.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess the difference between that and someone that likes to go to church every Sunday morning, right? They're not honest about that maybe.
Well, my church is pickleball every Sunday.
No, but you know what I mean? I'm saying, like, if you go to church every Sunday and you love that part of your life, that spiritual part of your life, and you're not honest and authentically showing up as someone that enjoys that, and you meet someone that is a complete atheist, like, that could be a big disaster.
Right.
So all I'm saying is, like, let's try to be our authentic selves more, and we will attract the best partner. I mean, that's like attracts like. You will attract exactly what you're looking for if you show up authentically.
And I'll say this, sometimes your best partner in the moment is you. And
Oh,
so if you're showing up authentically yourself, to yourself, for yourself, then you're partnering with yourself incredibly.
yeah, 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 yeah. The other thing I wanna say that we haven't touched on at all, and I think it's really important, is what are your beliefs? What are your beliefs? Like, as the believer in this discussion, everything's gonna work out for me. I'm a lucky girl. Everything that happens to me happens for my highest good. I believe in the perfect love. I believe that my soulmate is out there. I believe it's only a matter of time, and because of my beliefs, every day is awesome
Right.
because I know in my soul that it's only a matter of time.
Mhm.
So why would I sit every day and say, "Oh gosh, it hasn't happened yet, and where is he? And I'm getting older. I'm 57 now. What's going on? I'm getting too old." Nonsense.
Yeah.
You're not too old.
Nope.
You're not too old. You're too skeptical. That's the problem.
Let me have some skepticism, Jennifer.
You're
Oh,
allowed to be you. You be you. Don't play pick me. Play this is me. That was your term. I love that.
okay, so let's wrap this up a little bit for our listeners. What do you have to say in closing?
So maybe love isn't late for you. Maybe love isn't lost for you. Maybe love isn't, never going to come back or be there for you. Maybe it's just waiting for you to fully step into the role of the partner that you keep asking for.
Okay. And obviously that doesn't mean perfection. It just means alignment.
1000%. None of us are perfect. We're all broken and messy. But be what you want. Show up the way you want. Like, let the rest meet you there. And so, again, one final tip. I'm serious about the list. Give yourself the gift this weekend of spending 10 minutes and play the opposites game. This is what they did. This is what I want. This is what happened. This is what I want. And do that, please.
Okay, that's great, Jennifer. Thanks for your tips today. And everybody, we're going to close out and get that list going, as Jennifer has said. And thanks again for listening to Manifest This. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in to Manifest This, Believer versus Skeptic. If you enjoyed today's conversation, share it with a friend, believer or skeptic. And don't forget to leave us a review so others can join in the debate. Plus, check out Jennifer's TikTok account, Manifestation RX, where she writes daily prescriptions for manifesting your dreams. Think practical tips with a dash of magic. We love hearing your questions and stories, so tell us what you're manifesting or questioning this week. Until next time, keep an open mind and maybe manifest a little magic.